Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's class lessons on directed numbers, which is topic 21 in your Planet Maths, and we're starting with page 133. And basically, guys, when I think of directed numbers, like I think of direction. What direction are your numbers going in? And if we look down to our number line here, we have a 0 and we have numbers on the right hand side of the 0 going in a positive direction, and we have the numbers on the left hand side of the 0 going in a negative direction. So the numbers on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are plus numbers, and the numbers to the left of the 0, minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, minus 6, minus 7, are negative numbers. And just as a point of interest, if you're referring to whole positive numbers, whole negative numbers, including your 0, we call those integers, and you'll be doing a lot more about integers when you go into secondary school. So if we go back up to the top, and it's warm up, isn't it, your teacher? Well, I'm going to call out a few questions for you to resolve, and listen carefully. You might have to stop the tape and go back and continue when you've solved the question that I'm posing. So here it goes. Box 1. If you look at the mobile phone there, and we have Emma has €20 in her account. Her mobile phone bill is for €30. Is her bank balance positive or negative? You must decide, guys. So she has €20 in her account, but her phone bill is going to cost her €30. If you look to box 2, where we have our penguins, the average annual temperature for Antarctica is 50 degrees Celsius. But is that minus 50 degrees Celsius or plus 50 degrees Celsius? The average wintertime temperature in Ireland is plus 8 degrees Celsius. How much warmer or colder is that than the average temperature for Antarctica? Then we look at box 3. This ATM shows the amount of money in a bank account. Does the person have any money in their account? And would you please give a reason for a reason for your answer? So if we just hold in there, yep, okay, it's fine. And then box 4, the average temperature in Egypt in July is 35 degrees Celsius. Is that plus 35 degrees Celsius or minus 35 degrees Celsius? And the average July temperature for Ireland is 15 degrees Celsius. How much warmer or colder is the temperature in Ireland? And lastly, we have Badwater Basin is 855 metres below sea level. Carrigtwohill in McGillicuddy Reeks is 1,050 metres, I'm sure you all knew that from last year, above sea level. Which place is the highest altitude, and by how many metres higher is it? So that's McGillicuddy Reeks at 1,050 metres as opposed to Badwater Basin at 855 metres below sea level. So the answers will be provided below for you guys there to check back over. Now if we go down and we just look at the temperatures for Toronto, Melbourne, Dublin, Moscow and New York, and we see we have plus degrees Celsius and minus degrees Celsius, so below freezing and above freezing point, and they want you to plot that on a number line. So guys, obviously from looking at this, you know that you're not going to be able to go up in units in your copies up as far as 28 degrees Celsius and down as far as minus 25 degrees Celsius. So you might have to decide a number. Are you going to go up in 2s? Are you going to go up in 4s? Are you going to, or 3s or 4s or whatever? You decide that and plot it on your number line as you see here. Here the numbers are going up in 1s, but obviously you won't be able to do that with your temperatures there which range from minus 25 degrees Celsius and go all the way up to plus 28 degrees Celsius. Then we have another question, B. Julie must show the following heights in a number line. How will she do it? So guys, here we have 5 places of interest around the world, and actually when I look at Bangalore there, I was actually watching a few Indian movies over the Easter halls on Netflix, and Bangalore was mentioned in 2 or more than them actually. So we have Mount Kosciuszko or Kosciuszko, we have Bangalore, Death Valley, Katara Depression, and the Sea of Galilee. And I would like you to show these figures, plot them, put them on your number line, and so Julie, you are Julie, and you have to decide how are you going to do that, because you're going above, as high as 2,230 metres above sea level, down to 392 below sea level. Now guys, you won't get it exactly accurately because you have 392, you know, and 208, and then you go up to 2230. So you have to decide how are you going to divide up your units, because obviously you can't go up in single units all the way up to 2230 and down as far as 392. So think about that, guys, and we will have those answers uploaded for you today or tomorrow on this page. Actually, I'll think about it, but definitely for the above one here, the answers I'm going to provide instantly down below. Okay, and now, because that's quite a quick page for you to do, you thought you were getting away with it, but you're not. So I love maths. Look familiar? And I can see you all rolling your eyes now. Enough of that. We're doing it and that's it. This is important. It's called revision. So, and it is essential with maths, guys. So just here, we're going to, I know some of you said, Miss Walker, we did that before, and Miss Campbell, we did that before, but we're going to still go back over it, guys, because you don't have that page with you at home, so you won't remember the answers, and so it's great form of revision. Now, we didn't get as far as unit 3 or 4, I'm sure, so I'm going up all the way through the units, starting obviously with units 1 and 2, which cover place value and operations. So let's start anyways. How many tens are in the underlined numbers? So we must look at the value of the 6. Is it 6,000? Is it 600? Is it 60,000? And we must establish how many tens go in to that first one there. Like, that's going to be 6,000. And remember, when you're dividing by 10, you knock off a 0. When you're dividing by 100, you knock off 2 zeros. And when you're dividing by 1,000, you knock off 3 zeros. So that's just a refresher there for you. So you've established how many tens in the 70,000, how many tens in the 400, how many tens in the 30, and how many tens in the 9. And then you go over to 2 and it says how many hundreds are in the following. So you must establish what is the value of the 7 in the first, the 6 in the second, the 9 in the third, and the 63 in the fourth. Remember, dividing by 100, you're knocking off 2 zeros. Then we go over and we're doing order from the biggest to the smallest number. So you start at the largest number and you work your way down from 1, 2, 3, 4 down to 5 with your smallest number. Then you round each number off here to the nearest 10. So 4,499. 5 and above, you round up the way, and below 5, you round down the way. Round each number to the nearest 100. So for example, in A, 1,599, so it's going to be 1,600. And you do the rest of those, and then round each number to the nearest 1,000, so it's 26,540, so therefore it's going to be 27,000. So if you could do B, C, D, and D. Estimate and find the following. So an estimate here, guys, I would bring it to the nearest 100, okay? Because when you're estimating, you're trying to work out something really quickly in your head, and bringing it to the nearest 10 is not the quickest way. It's called an estimation for that reason. And then you can see the difference between your estimation and the actual sum. And then in 8, it says, what is the sum of these 3 numbers? I want you to do those vertically. Obviously, do them out on the page. And remember your place value, tens of thousands, hundreds, tens, and units. So please align the numbers where they're supposed to be. The units under the units, the tens under the tens, the hundreds under the hundreds, the thousands under the thousands, and the tens of thousands under the tens of thousands. That's the only way you're going to get it correct. 9. Find the difference between the first 2 numbers and then add it to the difference between the second 2 numbers. So there's 3-step problem there. You're finding the difference between the first 2, the difference between the second 2, and then you're at it. Now I've kind of spoon-fed you there, guys, but I suppose I'm helping you revise. Estimate, then find the sum of the following. So again, we're estimating. We're rounding it up to the nearest 100, or 1,000, or 100, okay? and then we work out the actual sum and just see what was the difference between your estimation and your actual answer. Estimate, then find the difference between the following. So you have to estimate, so you bring it to the nearest 1,000 here, guys, because you're talking of tens of thousands, and then you can just do the actual sum. Okay, that's great. Okay, and we'll be I'll be providing the answers. Miss Campbell and I will be providing the answers for you tomorrow. We'll have them uploaded. Thanks a million, guys. Talk to you tomorrow.